So 5 minutes ago, I wasn't even going to do a story, so if you guys are thinking about it, because I'm way outside of my comfort zone. But my first introduction to Milwaukee was probably 25 years ago, a job interview, and I instantly fell in love with we didn't want to be married anymore, but we thought maybe a new city is going to help this problem. And as great as Milwaukee is, we decided to get divorced. So now I'm a single mother in a new city with no family. And that's when I started to discover some of what I'm going to call Milwaukee-isms. And I think a conversation with my dentist kind of best captures it. I'm in the chair. Why are they always talking to us when we got stuff in our mouth? And he says, hey, how do you like Milwaukee? It's great, huh? And I said, it really is. And he goes, everyone's friendly. I'm like, so friendly. He goes, nobody will ask you to dinner though, right? And I was like, you're right. No one is asking me to dinner. They're super nice, but they're not asking me to dinner. And he's like, yeah, it's a Milwaukee thing. He said, my wife's from New York. She loves the city, but hates that part of it. I thought, that's really interesting. So the next day at work, talking to two coworkers who are native Milwaukeeans, and I said, you know, what is it with people not inviting you to dinner? And this one lady goes, well, we kind of have enough friends. And then the guy chimes in and he said, well, you know, Milwaukee is one of the cities that has the highest rating of people were born and died here. I'm like, oh, okay. It actually helped though, because I realized it wasn't personal, but when you are new in a city and going through a divorce, holidays are hard when there's nobody around. So my very first Christmas, my husband and I had divided custody. He had them for Christmas Eve. And I dropped them off and then just started crying. I picked up my takeout order at Maharaja, like one of the only places that was open, but yay Maharaja, because it is great. And got home and was sitting on the sofa, and I just couldn't stop crying as I was watching Sex and the City. I was like, this is not Christmas Eve. And I really wanted to find a way to connect with more people in the city. So luckily, a couple of months later, I met this woman, Ingrid. She had just moved here. Her husband was starting at Miller Brewing. They were South African, and her son was the same age as my daughter. We start talking, we have this instant connection, and she goes, you need to come over for dinner on Saturday. I'm like, yeah. So I went over to dinner at her place, she went over to dinner at mine, and that's what I was accustomed to, because in Columbus, it's a more transient city. You just invite people over to dinner, and I think there's something really beautiful about breaking bread and getting to know somebody in your house. So Thanksgiving rolls around, and Ingrid knew that my now ex was going to have the kids and I was going to be lunch. She goes, you're coming to our house for Thanksgiving. I'm like, yay. I said, what can I bring? She goes, the turkey? Okay, how many people will be there? And she's like, right now we're at 27. Okay. So I don't even like turkey, but you know, making the turkey, trying to transport it to her house for 27 people, and it is like this expat dinner. I mean, I'm like the only American, and there's all these other people in town who are here at her house because this is where we're going to be now, because they have no other family too. So I'm looking at the turkey, tented it, having a cocktail, thinking, okay, well, you know, we'll eat in 2 hours. So I got here at 4, we'll eat at 6. 6 rolls around, people are still coming. 7 rolls around, got more appetizers. 8 o'clock comes around, there's wine, there's, like, when are we gonna eat? We eat at 10. And the turkey for turkey was okay, but one thing I learned when you're dealing with that kind of crowd is lamb was the star. But as I looked around at all of those people that I hadn't known, I made a commitment because I had fallen in love with the city and I wanted to make more friends. So I started asking people to dinner. And in so doing, I have made a lot of friends and also learned that every holiday, just reach out and see if anyone's alone and invite them to your house. Thanks.
Let's go, Julie!